Irish Grandpanas, thanks so much for logging on to ShoreSportsZone.com. This is our Saturday highlight show, a playoff edition, as the Shore Sports Zone team is literally all around the state. I'm here in Sparta, where Red Bank Catholic is battling Pope John. We're going to have highlights of that game a little bit later on in the show, but we're going to get started with what a lot of people are saying is the biggest game in the state for the first round of the playoffs. We head down to Cherry Hill, our Alex Lorenzo capturing the action as St. John Vianney takes on Camden Catholic.
Shore Sports Zone's coverage of the St. John Vianney Lancers is brought to you by Paver Restoration.
The bagpipes are out in Cherry Hill. Battle of two unbeaten teams. Camden Catholic, the Fighting Irish, hosting the Lancers of St. John Vianney. On the opening drive of the game, Wk10 fights his way. We've seen him do this all year long. That's 14 yards. And the Lancers' opening drive is capped off by Johnny Buchanan. So good in short yardage. The 1-yard touchdown. 6-0 St. John Vianney in front. Later in the first quarter, Hazik Daniels going to roll to his left. His pass is picked off by Tyreek Austin Cave. And the Irish take over late in the first quarter. Camden Catholic ran a fast-paced offense. Rob McCoy hits Tyreek Best. That's a good grab right there. Good for 18 yards, and it would lead to this. Nazir Streeter diving into the end zone. 7-6 Camden Catholic takes the lead early in the second quarter. The St. John Vianney defense forcing a punt here. It's a bad snap, nearly a safety. How about that for field position? St. John Vianney takes over at the 1-yard line, and Johnny Buchanan is going to capitalize on that mistake. Here's Buchanan leaping over the line. 13-7 St. John Vianney back out in front. And how about another big play by the Lancers defense? Nazir Streeter's going to lose the handle, and it pops into the hands of A.J. Calabro. St. John Vianney once again gets awesome field position. Camden Catholic's defense able to buckle down, so St. John Vianney settles for a Will Foreman field goal. 16-7 Lancers at the half. Third quarter now. Daniels, little slant pass to Zaire Sterling. That's a 23-yard gain inside the 5. And then St. John Vianney going to go back to Sterling. This time, the spin move into the zone. 2-yard touchdown makes it 23-7. Remember, this Camden Catholic team, just like St. John Vianney, undefeated in 2016. McCoy to the air. Kyle Dupree, awesome catch right there. And Camden Catholic trying to stay in the game. Marcus Hillman. This is a 12-yard touchdown. The lead's down to 10, 23-13. But St. John Vianney's defense has really made its mark as a real tough unit. 4th and 1, they decide to go with a pass play. It's incomplete. St. John Vianney gets great field position again. Will Foreman with his second field goal. This is a 25-yarder to make it 26-13. And the Lancers defense takes care of the rest. Nick Denseski. He had 2 sacks on the night. Give him a baker's dozen for the season. 13 sacks for Nick Denseski. Wk10 added 1 more touchdown, and St. John Vianney goes on to a 33-13 win over Camden Catholic. When it comes to non-public football, there always seems to be a stigma with Shore Conference football. And a lot of people, the pundits, were saying, oh, St. John Vianney going to go on the road, facing a tough team. They might be overmatched. St. John Vianney, the real deal. But now the road to the state championship gets even tougher because next Saturday, St. John Vianney will travel to the top seed, St. Joe out of Montvale. That should be one heck of a game as St. John Vianney stays perfect on the season. They move on to the second round in non-public Group 3 with a 33-13 win over Camden Catholic.
Shore Sports Zone's coverage of Red Bank Catholic is brought to you by Immediate Care Medical Walk-In of Red Bank.
RBC scored a 21-14 win in Sparta last year in the first round of the playoffs against Pope John. Different story on Saturday. Just 53 seconds in, Ty Haranek at the Christian Isian. 21-yard scoring play, extra point, no good. 6-0 Lions early. But the RBC defense did some real good things in the first half. The pass completion here, Zach Baer going to cause the fumble. Max Hazard falls on it. RBC's defense would create 2 turnovers in the first quarter. And here's Steve Lubisher going to work. The screen pass to Zach Baer. And look at Baer escape that tackle, not once but twice, all the way down to the 18-yard line. And on the very next play, the give is to Zach Baer, 1,000-yard rusher. He's a junior. He extends into the zone. Red Bank Catholic takes a 7-6 lead. But Pope John would dominate the rest of the first quarter. It's Haranica to Isian again. 31 yards, 21-7 Pope John at the end of one. But RBC kept sticking around against a high-powered offense. This is Zach Baer, another great catch. He's out of bounds at the 13. And a lot of these guys you're seeing in the highlights for RBC are going to be back next year. Steve Lubisher will be back, and so will this guy, Kevin Ballman, the freshman tight end. Awesome catch there. That made it 21-14 on the 10-yard scoring play. But Pope John had big production from Burrell Neal. He's got speed, and he just outruns the RBC secondary there. 75 yards at the half. Pope John with a 28-14 lead. Third quarter, after a big interception, it's Lubisher to the air. Jaden Key has got it. That's gorgeous. 18 yards. Key would leave the game with a sprained ankle. He paid the price for that score, 28-21. But any chance RBC had of maybe pulling off an upset ends right here on the ensuing kickoff. This is Jadir Charles. And this takes the wind right out of RBC's sail. Midway through the third quarter, they're down 7. Just like that, Pope John takes a 34-21 lead. And the Caseys did not have an answer for Burrell Neal. Look at him recover with the balance right there. 87-yard touchdown run for Burrell Neal. The Pope John Lions rack up 515 yards of total offense. They go on to a 48-21 win over Red Bank Catholic. Look at those numbers for Burrell Neal. 13 carries, 249 yards. You saw both of his touchdowns. Frank Ergeli's first season back as RBC head coach, the second part of his tenure, ends with a 5-5 season. But I think there are a lot of optimistic things if you're an RBC football fan. Zach Baer's going to be back. Matt Ansell's going to be back. You got a lot of guys that are capable of making plays, and RBC was really ravaged by injuries this year. If RBC can stay healthy, I think they're going to be back as one of the top teams in the Shore Conference. As RBC's season comes to an end, 48-21, Pope John advances in the non-public Group 3 playoffs.
Shore Sports Zone's coverage of Modern Day Prep is brought to you by Gold Coast Cadillac.
In Middletown, Modern Day Prep begins its march to what they hope is a football state title. Serap's hosting St. Anthony out of Jersey City. First play from scrimmage. Sincere Saunders sets the tone right away. Good escapability from the defenders. 50-yard run for Sincere Saunders, and it sets up the first of many, many scores. George L.C. Pearson, the mobile quarterback, 10 yards. Just a minute into the game, we got a 7-0 Modern Day Prep lead. The Seraphs defense has 3 straight shutouts, and they do it as a collective unit. Isaiah Henderson, the sophomore, he's always on our highlight reel. He really sticks out. And then it's Sincere Saunders. After that 50-yard run, here he comes with his first touchdown of the game. 19 yards for Sincere Saunders. Just like that, it's 14-0. Then St. Anthony in punt formation. Shane Mastro blocks the punt. Marvin Pierre couldn't get it into the end zone for 6, so they'll have to settle for a safety. 16-0 Mater Dei Prep. And then Pearson goes to Eddie Lewis. He is all about yards after the catch. Good extension, 29 yards. It's 23-0. And we have been able to showcase Eddie Lewis as a defender. Here he comes in on the blitz from the secondary. That is speed along with great fundamentals. So many weapons on this Mater Dei Prep team. Look at Marvin Pierre go. Wow. Escaping tackles. He's in the dust there. And Pierre doesn't get in there, but that's okay. Down at the 5-yard line. The drive continues early second quarter. Justin McCray makes it 30-0 Mater Dei Prep. And then get ready for a top play nominee. This is pretty special. The screen pass is sniffed out by Mario Rodriguez. And look at the big nose guard go. 22 yards. You can see how excited the entire Mater Dei defense is to see Mario Rodriguez get a touchdown. That was awesome. 37-0 Mater Dei Prep. And the first half dominance closes out with Sincere Saunders. 23 yards. It was 44-0 at the half. Mater Dei Prep goes on to a 51-8 win over St. Anthony. Saunders with 2 touchdown runs. The defense was outstanding. And now, with a 10-0 record, quite frankly, Mater Dei Prep has not been tested at all this season. That will change next Saturday in Middletown. St. Joseph out of Hamilton comes to Mater Dei. St. Joe's with 7 straight sectional titles. Mater Dei Prep, we're going to find out what they're made of. It's going to be a great ball game. After the first round victory, RJ Cook got post-game reaction from the Seraphs, including head coach Dino Mangiero, who had high praise for his nose guard, Mario Rodriguez, and his big pick six.
It was a great atmosphere, great team, had a great game, came out to play. Everybody came to play.
I wasn't really expecting it because I thought the running back was out a little bit, but when I seen the ball coming, I just took it. And thank you for my teammates for blocking for me, and it just goes to them.
I know very well that nose guards get no credit for anything, you know, and that's happened to me before, where you're in the right place at the right time and they throw you the ball. He's got, if he had a highlight reel, that would probably be the last play on the highlight reel as a nose guard, because you fall into some things like that. But the techniques and the things we ask him to do as a nose guard, he's been doing very, very well all year. And that's the important stuff to our defense, not just one fluke play out here. He's been an unsung hero the whole year.
Shore Sports Zone's coverage of the Raritan Rockets is brought to you by Bayshore Community Bank.
Beautiful night in Jersey City, a rematch of last year's state title game. Lincoln taking on the Raritan Rockets. Last year, Raritan won the state title on a last-second play. It's 14-7 Lincoln in the second. Mark Carnevale is picked off by Desmond Stevens. That is a 49-yard pick six, 22-7 Lincoln. And Desmond Stevens was just getting started. Next possession, it's Stevens with another INT. He's brought down at the 2-yard lines. He almost had back-to-back pick sixes, but that's okay. Jawan Lesueur finds the end zone. That makes it 28-7 Lincoln. And then the Lions go for 2. Kamari Addison makes it a 30-7 game in the second. Late first half, Carnevale goes to the air. And who else? Desmond Stevens with his 3rd interception. Lincoln has a 30-7 lead at the half. You're thinking blowout city, but hang on. Raritan, 3rd quarter, 4th and 22. It's Carnevale to Vito Aleo. First down, the drive stays alive. And then Mark Carnevale keeps it himself. Up and over. He's in the zone. 30-14. Raritan wanting to get back to that state championship game. And then the defense starts feeling it. Look at Ryan Dickens. Huge tackle for a loss right there. And all of a sudden, the Rockets have some serious momentum because we got a fumble, loose football. Matt Thompson with the recovery. Raritan gets it back. And all of a sudden, Raritan's going to make things real interesting because Carnevale goes to the air, and this is Mike Wolchowitz. Touchdown, Raritan. We got a 30-20 game. The Rockets are going to go for 2. And it's Vito Aleo getting into the zone. 15 straight points for Raritan. They're down just 8 late in the third quarter. But Lincoln puts together a solid drive early fourth quarter. This is Kamari Addison with the touchdown run. Lincoln would take a 38-22 lead, and that is how this football game ends. But the Raritan Rockets showed once again why they had that championship pedigree from a year ago. They came from behind and stunned Lincoln, so this was a big revenge game for Lincoln. And the Lions survive a second-half onslaught from Raritan. They get a 38-22 win. And the big part of this game, and you saw it in the highlights, Desmond Stevens with 3 interceptions in the second quarter. 2 of those picks resulted in 16 points, and that's the margin of victory. Raritan's season will come to a close on Thanksgiving morning when they host Homedale, as it's Lincoln with a 38-22 win over Raritan. Let's go to Manasquan High. Whenever Shore Sports Zone's Ryan Olson shoots a game, it seems to be a thriller. No different here. The Warriors hosting A.L. Johnson. Connor Morgan was hampered by injury late in the regular season. He's feeling good right here. Look at that bruising 19-yard run. It would lead to Connor Morgan. Great hole by the O-line there. 6-yard scoring play, 7-0 Manasquan at the end of 1. A.L. Johnson came to play on the road in the postseason. Then Krisafi is gone. 70-yard touchdown run. A.L. Johnson draws even. It's 7-7. But Manasquan has a response on the first play after the kick. Up the gut, they give it to Tommy Meyer. He's got daylight. Meyer, 65-yard run down to the 15-yard line. And Manasquan has depth when it comes to their running game. They go back to Connor Morgan here. The pitch to the right side. That's a great 13-yard run to the 2-yard line. And then the give to the sophomore, Canyon Birch, up the middle. He's in the zone. That's a 3-play scoring drive. 13-7 Manasquan. But here comes A.L. Johnson taking the lead. Joe Duffy from 9 yards out. 14-13, Manasquan's down 1. Now, Damaso Jamie does so much for this team. He's normally the punter. He's out with an ankle injury. That is into the end zone for a safety. 16-13, A.L. Johnson at the half. And then sound the upset alert, because this is Joe Duffy, a 36-yard touchdown run. Manasquan is down 10 at home, 23-13. But here comes Jerry Marr and the Manasquan offense. Marr finds Adam Schreck. This is a 16-yard gain to keep the drive alive. And then guess who's back? Damaso Jamie playing hurt. That's a huge play on 4th and 6. 31-yard gain to keep the drive alive. And then Marr rolls right. Adam Schreck's got it. Touchdown Manasquan, 23-20. The Warriors are down 3 at the end of 3. And A.L. Johnson kept pouring it on. Look at that spin move right there. This is Joe Turek with a 63-yard run down to the 9-yard line. And A.L. Johnson's about to take another 2-possession lead. Krisafi makes it 29-20. But this right here is what we would call a season saver, because on the ensuing kickoff, Damaso Jamie, remember he missed part of this game due to injury. His ankle looks just fine right now. Look at Damaso Jamie go. This is sensational. 84 yards, and all of a sudden we got a 29-27 ball game. The Manasquan defense does its part, so the Warriors are back looking to take the lead. Marr to Adam Schreck. That's big right there. Gain of 20, and it would lead to this. Marr's going to go up top, and Damaso Jamie gathers. Wow. Those are 2 critical touchdowns. Man, oh man. That is a 33-yard scoring play. 33-29 Manasquan. The Warriors defense seals the deal here as Peter Mills comes up with the INT. And the Manasquan Warriors are through to the second round of Central Jersey Group 2 with a 33-29 win over A.L. Johnson. Boy, did Damaso Jamie step up. Those 2 touchdowns turned the tide of the football game, and now Manasquan will travel on the road next Saturday for a matchup with second seed Roselle, who put up a whole pile of points in their first round win. What a great job by Manasquan. So many great playmakers involved in this victory, as it's Manasquan with a 33-29 win over A.L. Johnson. Coming up on Sunday, tomorrow, don't forget to vote for top play and top performer. The winners receive Monmouth Building Center game balls, and a note to high school coaches, we will be sending out our nomination forms for the 3rd annual All-Zone Banquet as we make the tough selections for the best of the best in Shore Conference football. For our team at Shore Sports Zone, I'm Rich Crampanis. Thanks so much for logging on. We'll see you next week with more high school football playoff action right here on ShoreSportsZone.com.